Welcome to another episode of libGDX-Graph devlog. In this episode, I'll explain how to use a mask with a sprite, hide some of the pixels, and also show how to position sprites in fixed positions on the screen. So as you can see here in the left bottom corner, I have this character icon portrait that you can use for showing HP or experience or whatever. And it's always in the same space on the screen. It's animated, just as the character is, and also part of the sprite is being cut off. So let's get into it. So to start off, I'll add another shader here, and I'll use the animated sprite because that's what I'm using there as a template. And I will name this screen masked. So it's in screen position, and we'll apply a mask there to hide some of the pixels. This is the beginning shader template. I'll move this a bit further away. So I want to first of all define the mask. So for the mask, I'll use the rectangle shape. And I'll use the sprite UVs for that. If I output it now, show you, I just draw the entire rectangle. I can also now modify the size of it. So let's say I want the size of it to be width and height of 0.5. Okay, so it's already hiding some of the pixels. And I want it to be not very sharp edges, so the border should be, let's say 0.05. As you can see, the edges are feathered, so maybe should make it larger so we can see the difference. Okay, but let's get back to 0.5 for this use case. And let me, as a preview texture, use the texture that I use for the character. And I need to set up the number of them. Okay, and animation speed of 30 or maybe 20 frames per second. Okay, so we have our wizard here, and we have the mask. Now we have to somehow use this mask. So the way we use it, we basically multiply the alpha of the actual sprite with the rectangle shape output. Because the output of this is from between 0 and 1, where 1 is what was shown as a white when I connected it. So math multiply alpha with the mask and use it as an alpha. Okay, we are already seeing cut off here. Maybe I want to move it a little bit up the rectangle to move it up. Instead of using the UV directly, I'll add a value to it. So I'll add 0.1 in the V direction. So I'll add Sprite UV with this vector and use it instead. That will move the rectangle up by 0.1 of the sprite size. Okay, I think this is what I want when it comes to this. Now I have to make sure that it's going to be rendered in the lower left corner. And to do this, I have to use the sprite position and then change it so that we have it always positioned in the same place on the screen. So first of all, I have to move it by the camera position. So provided camera position, I have to extract the X and Y only. Because camera position, of course, has X, Y, and Z. So I split it and I'll merge it. Only X and Y. And I'll add this to the camera position, the sprite position, sorry. Okay, now let me show you how it looks in the application. So as you can see now, it's, as I said, it's in the fixed position on the screen. However, it's not relative to the lower bottom corner is relative to the middle of the screen. So to adjust it to the lower bottom, I have to subtract half of the viewport, so of this window size. So let's come back here, and I have to subtract half of the viewport. So let's take a viewport size, and I'll have to multiply it. And because I actually have to already have I have to subtract it, but subtracting is nothing, is the same thing as as adding a negative of it. So instead of subtracting by half, by multiplying by half, I'll multiply it by minus half. That way I can directly connect the output of this to the add here, which will result in giving me the subtracting half of the screen size. So let's go to the application again, reload, and I have this character here cut off at the bottom. The problem is, however, that the cut is very sharp, and the reason for it is that because my shader is using opaque blending. If I switch it to alpha, save, go to the application, reload it, now we have a nice cutout, which is more feathered with more alpha to it. Okay, I hope you find this useful. Please consider subscribing and liking the video. Thanks for watching. Bye.